So we want to learn all of the things about circles today. We're going to learn both the perimeter and the area. Okay, the formulas are very similar, but there are sort of cues that tell you which one is which. We have got on our formula sheet the fact that the circumference is, on our formula sheet, the circumference of a circle is
pi times
d,
d.
right? So we've got pi d, and we've got the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So we're going to look at the perimeter first. We actually need to know that it is the circumference. That's the word we use for the perimeter of a circle. And on our formula sheet, it says that the circumference equals pi d. What does the d stand for? In a circle, it stands for the diameter. Good. Now, the diameter is the line that goes from one side of a circle to the other side through the centre. Sometimes we're not given the diameter, we're only given half of it. What's that called? Half of the diameter. What's this line called?
Radius.
Good, thank you. The radius. All right? So sometimes our formula will say 2 pi r. What it's saying is 2 radiuses because that's equal to a diameter. Now that formula is not on your sheet. You have to know to double the radius to find the diameter. Okay? When we are using pi, now we have a calculator. We don't use 3.14. We use the button on our calculator. Right? So we use that button that's down the bottom and we multiply by it. Okay? So pi equals all of those things and many, many more, but we use our calculator button. All right? So let's have a look at an example really easily. If we've got a circle, we've been told the radius, I'm going to go for a radius one, is 8 centimetres. Then our circumference equals 2 pi r because we've got the radius. It equals 16 times pi. We put that in our calculator using the pi button and round appropriately. So we get 16 times pi equals 50.27. Centimetres to 2 decimal places. Now, because at level 6 of the curriculum, we might be working with circles. That's a level 5 curriculum question. Level 6, we might be working with circles. We might have this picture to deal with. I don't know, maybe it's the circle goal in basketball or something, I don't know. But anyway, it's a, what kind of circle? A semicircle, all right? We don't really care about its name though. What we do care about is that it's half a circle. So if we were trying to find the length around this half a circle, we would just set it up the same way. The whole circumference equals pi d, which equals 15 times pi. But we want half of the circumference, so we're going to have 15 times pi divided by 2 equals 15 times pi divided by 2 equals 23.56. 23.56 metres in length. Sometimes if we were doing the perimeter of this, we'd have that 23.56 and add on the 15 to go right around the shape. Okay? So we sometimes have to remember to add on the straight ones. That's where we're getting into that upper level thinking. Okay, moving on to the area. So we just said that the formula for area for a circle equals pi r squared. Now there's no formula with a d in it for area. And we have to have that r squared because that produces the right angle that we've been talking about. So if we take a circle and we cut it up into as little slivers as we can go, like this, with scissors, then we stick it all together, we get this picture, which the smaller we cut the slivers, the more it looks like a rectangle. All right? So a rectangle's formula for area is base times height. The base of this is half of the circle because there's half on this side and half on this side. So half of the circumference will be pi r. All right? And then this side is the height, which is the radius. So base times height is pi r times r, which is pi r squared. You don't need to know that. You do need to know that it's pi r squared and not anything else. So if you can remember that the squared indicates area, because we always write area as something squared, then you'll be right. So if we're looking at an example where we have to, we'll do that one again actually, 8 centimetres, we're finding the area this time. We've got the area equals pi r squared, so we've got pi times 8 squared, put it in your calculator, and you will get pi times 8 squared is 201.06. 201.06 centimetres squared. All right? Again, if we were looking at a bit of a circle, so sometimes we have to, oh, that's a terrible circle. Actually, I'm only going to draw a bit. Ooh. How much of a circle is that? How a whole circle is? So it's 60 out of 360. So our area will equal 60 over 360, that bit, times pi r squared. So 60 out of 360. We could simplify it to 1/6 if we knew how to, but we could just leave it as 60 out of 360, and then we're always right. Pi times 4 squared, so we put that into our calculator, and we get 60 over 360 times pi times 4 squared equals 8.38 rounded. 8.38 metres squared rounded. All right, so all of this you've seen before. We're just going to practice it today and put it together.